Good evening. My name is Andrea Ortega, third teacher and classmate. I talking about the videos of listening and speaking to. Education is the driving factor of a life that is successful and meaningful. Much of the successful education gives remains on the hands of students and how they use the tools available to them to survive. Both college and life, fortunately, the majority of students have the notions that success can only come from intelligence and talent. Nevertheless, it's the grown mindset. The fact that one knows the learning is never totally finished and there is always knowledge to be acquired that truly equals success. This mindset can only be obtained through effort because anything that is worth doing or learning concepts in math or vocabulary in English determines the outcomes of grades and the knowledge and improvement that is acquired much more deeply than any perceived in talent or intelligence. Nonetheless, hard work alone cannot ensure success, especially if one possesses inadequate skill. For instance, the manner in which students study for exams is essential, as the time and work they put into revision and memorize material. They should use practice exams to test their reasoning skills and the extent to which they have absorbed the material is not enough to simply memorize or to read over and over again, but to use the material in a meaningful context. One shows mastery. Likewise, self-discipline and self-motivation are essential as hard work in order to have a successful education. Self-motivation after equals getting out of own comfort zone, be to send emails to a stranger in order to receive advice for decisions that could be life-changing or creating a new club or starting a new business. When self-motivation is lacking, it's also important to create valuable memories that will remain significant throughout life. For example, one can go on adventures and escape that will probably be impossible to perform once the work phase of life arrives. In addition, creating relevant and proud relationships will always aid in using education and its tools to carry a successful life begin being friends with people who are likely to change the world and supporting each other through life is an experience one must never forget to not waste. Building a friendship with the professor is just as important. Um, after all, professors have a much responsibility and influence on the success of students as do students themselves. A professor cannot expect a student to get out of difficulties by just using their grade. Instead, they must create of agency for mentorship and opportunities. Um, this all will allow students and recovering individuals to never take anything for granted. Opportunities will allow the difficulties of life and prevent a successful education to be abolished. And tutoring will ensure that even the small skill, like knowing how to use a computer or tutoring of your group becomes relevant to life. But how do education do this? They reimagine tomorrow and allow their classroom to be transformed. They become aware that students have a lot to teach and that teachers must know over their power and authority. In addition, they take time to teach subjects or topics that students are passionate about and they embrace the students already possession knowledge and the one needs to be acquired. Only then can they from individuals capable of using their education to have a successful life. Thank you for watching this night. Good night. Thank you.